Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to our closing dinner. We had, I think, a glorious day today, in line with the glorious things happening in Greece, and I think the very positive outlook for Greece looking ahead. So thank you to everybody that after a long and very productive and very pleasant day, you're here with us to celebrate, to recognize a great Hellene, Mr. Achilles Constantakopoulos. So, every year we close our event recognizing someone who, with his example, has really contributed a lot into raising the profile of Greece as a business and investment destination, and someone who promotes Hellenism. And I can't think, frankly, of a better person than Achilles, who, with his own example, and his own family's business, they have invested tremendous amounts of money across all the sectors of the Greek economy. And more than that, they have really raised the profile of Greece, as I said, as a business and investment destination, bringing in very significant partners from abroad. I'm not going to say a lot more because Mr. Dakolias is going to introduce him. All I wanted to say that we're very humbled and thankful that he accepted to be with us tonight. And of course, I'd like to recognize his wife, Constantakopoulos, who in her own right is being the head of Endeavor in Greece, now a UN, a UNESCO ambassador. She's really making a very significant contribution into promoting Greece overseas, worldwide. So thank you to both of you, and thank you, Achilles, for being with us today. I would kindly ask the ambassador to give us a brief remark, and then we'll have dinner, and then Dean will introduce our honoree. So all I'd like to say is thank you to everybody. It's been a long day, a great day, and there's no better way to close it than what we're doing tonight. Thank you.
Dear friends, good evening. What a day. If you ask me to tell you what's the word of the day, I would vote for positivity. So it's the right day to celebrate. And for me, it is a true honor to stand before such a distinguished audience. Nikos and Olga Bornozis in particular, who have once again done an exceptional job showcasing Greece's investment momentum and linking our country with a true global financial center like New York. I would also like to thank the speakers who guided us through Greece's remarkable journey of resilience and reform, a journey that has allowed our economy to emerge stronger, more competitive, and more attractive. You know the economic facts now. Let me speak about Greece's strategic role. Our partnership with the United States has always been strong. What matters now is its growing importance. Greece's position, seen as Europe's distant southern edge, has become one of our greatest strategic advantages. Which is the first European port a major container ship reaches after passing through the Suez Canal? The port of Piraeus. What is the safest deep water harbor in the Mediterranean for hosting aircraft carriers? Suda Bay in Crete. What is the closest, most accessible destination for travelers from the Eastern Mediterranean seeking a world-class holiday experience? The islands of Rhodes and Crete. What is the nearest LNG gateway capable of transporting natural gas to Central Europe? The Revithousa terminal and the Alexandroupolis FSRU. Where does the United States find a safe, reliable passageway to transport troops and equipment all the way to Ukraine? Alexandroupolis. But let me emphasize one point clearly. Location alone is not enough. We succeeded because we built the right conditions. We emerged from a decade-long economic crisis resilient. We implemented hundreds of reforms. Today, we speak confidently and credibly about investing in Greece. We were never ambiguous in our foreign policy. Without hesitation, we condemned Russia's war on Ukraine. When Europe called for energy diversification 10 or 15 years ago, at a time when many were still building new pipelines in Russia, or to Russia, Greece made a different strategic choice. We built the infrastructure early. Over the past 15 years, Greece has actively driven the development of LNG terminals and the vertical corridor, taking a hands-on role at every stage. Thanks to these sustained efforts, these projects are now commercially operational. Greek ship owners did their part. They built their fleets in time, and today they lead the global market. Our shipyards, with the support of American investment, are experiencing a revival with strong prospects. We embraced new diplomatic and economic tools, the US-Greece strategic dialogue, the 3+1 framework, and IMEC, the new trade and energy corridor linking India to the Middle East, Greece, and Europe. PTEC, the major energy conference hosted in Athens in collaboration with the United States, just last month has become the platform for business deals and concrete opportunities. The strategic partnership between Greece and the United States is shaping long-term, mutually beneficial growth, prosperity, and security for Greece and for our wider region. These are the qualities that make Greece a reliable business partner and a dependable political ally. They are also the reasons we can look to the future with confidence. Please allow me on a personal note to say just 2 words about our honoree tonight, Mr. Constantakopoulos. The Constantakopoulos family has a strong history of tradition in philanthropy, and the common good. A tradition they have passed on to their son Achilles. I know this from personal experience. One of the projects I have taken to heart, even before coming to Washington, just because in Washington I started my career, and actually my office was in the old building of the embassy. So one of the first projects was the restoration of the embassy historical building. Little did I know that Achilles was already involved funding an extensive feasibility study. His generosity inspired a chain of events, and I am proud to say that the renovation has begun. Axios, Mr. Constantakopoulos.
Anyway, thank you very much to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful dinner. So now let us proceed recognizing our honoree. I will not say anything more except that we are really humbled to have the opportunity to pay our respects to him today. And I will kindly ask Dean Dakolias to come. Dean, take over. Thank you.
Hello. Thanks everyone for coming, and I want to thank Olga and Nicholas for again holding an amazing day. I think between this, the THI Gala, Rebrain, Endeavor, Greeking Out, I think New York is looking forward to all of us leaving. But I was wondering if we do this next year in London, will they give us the marbles when we leave or not? That's the real question. But I also wanted to thank you for a personal note. I retired from Fortress today. It's my 25th year retired, and I'm taking this as my party, my going away party also. So I'm celebrating with Achilles, so this is my going away party. But when I mentioned to some friends that I was going to introduce Achilles, they said, who? And I said, Costanza's husband. They said, So that's not a bad thing to be known as, though. So I think I talked to some people about Achilles, and I understand from his early days, he was always a builder. I think his brothers talk about him with buckets of Legos, just building, playing Monopoly. I think always wanting to win, but always wanting a fair outcome or play fair. And I would say that that's not something that people describe me as. Playing fair, wanting to win. I want to win sometimes more than that, but that's okay. I think actually both of these are relevant today. It's in terms of Achilles. He's a builder. I think he enjoys architecture. I mean, the more complicated the problem, the better. But never loses sight of how not just to create great deals, but actually have deals where everyone wins. And I just want to say, if you come to New York, that's not necessarily the way New York real estate works. So, just get prepared for that. I do hear that he drives architects and engineers crazy though as well. He's usually up late at night and he's working on redrafts and redesigns. And I think the problem is that most of the time he's actually right. And so I think the engineers and architects just should take your advice on the first shot and not actually wait for you to come back and argue with them continuously. I know this is not the Pritzker Prize in architecture, which is probably what you aspire to, but it is something that I wouldn't bet against you actually winning. So, in fact, I'm not sure that I would be surprised if a few years from now I see you on campus at Columbia, not as a parent of students, but as a student yourself, getting your degree in architecture. I think there are a few people in the room that can probably help with that, just so you know. So, so we'll figure that out. I actually was going to spend some more time talking about some other parts of you, your favorite movies. I get Godfather, I get Star Wars, but Gladiator is one of them, really? I mean, I don't understand why we didn't have your favorite cheese pies here also. We should have had those, brought in from Athens, and I'm not sure why we didn't. And also this fascination that you have with gadgets. I hope you got a royalty for those glasses that you put in your phone, because I think they're everywhere in Athens now, is my guess. But I actually was somewhat inspired a little bit on Saturday night in listening to the speech of the honoree at the THI Gala, who is a gentleman in his 90s, John Pavlos, who was born to Greek immigrant parents in the early 30s. And I thought about that generation that was born in the late 20s, early 30s. My father's generation, Achilles' father's generation, Captain Vasilis. And I was very fortunate to have met him, actually through Helenic's family. I got to know her brother and I went to college together, so I was very fortunate to have met him. And it's all those memories, still stick with me. I can't even begin. I mean, you can't even talk about all the things he did, but I do know that every time that I did see him, he was talking about his kids, his 3 boys. And that to me is, a sign of who he was. I don't think he would really sit here and be too happy about you having won the award. Be more happy about you being the father, the husband, and the friend that you have become and that you still are for a lot of people in this room. Obviously, Costanza and the kids. Your dad, my dad, that generation is really the greatest generation. That generation lives through you. Your dad lives through you. His soul lives through you. I know you have something that everyone talks about, life and service to others. And that is a great motto to live by. And with that, I'll pass it over to Achilles.
Dear Dean, thank you so much. No, there's no greater honor than being honored by your peers. I respect you. I got to know you a few years ago through Hellenic as well, and I was amazed by all the things you did and the investments you did for Greece when Greece needed investments, and I could not have asked for a better person to give me this award. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. You continue giving and look forward to doing things for you to help Greece for many years to come. Ambassador Nassika, dear ministers, dear general secretaries, dear consul general, dear Lieutenant Governor Kounalakis, Ambassador Tsounis, dear Nicholas, dear Olga, dear friends, Kalispera. I am grateful, honored, and humbled to stand before you and accept the 2025 Capital Link Hellenic Leadership Award. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be here tonight. Really thank you. Special thanks to Nicholas and Olga for their vision and leadership in bringing together this remarkable community every year. I structured my speech around 5+1 rules, or pieces of advice, our late father, Captain Vasilis, would give me and my brothers. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. First, because I think he was the most influential person in my life. Second, because my son, who is studying in New York, is in the room, and I hope he may do something similar for me 40 years from now. But I'm sure that it would help if you were all be so kind to applaud for an adequate long time at the end of my speech. I'm sure that would help him do that. So, rule number 1. He would say, there is no easy or difficult. There is only known or unknown. We were, and thank God with this market still are, a shipping family. Costa Mare was founded by my father in 1975. Once his shipping business was firmly established in the late 80s, the captain started buying land to establish Costa Navarino. We had no idea about land development or resorts, but he had this Messinia dream, as he would call it, to create opportunities for the people of his homeland, to protect its extraordinary natural beauty, and to reveal it to the world. He asked me when I was 18 years old if I would do it. In my great ignorance at the time, I said yes. He said great, and that I should now study this business so it becomes known. So I ended up in EHL, the Lausanne Hotel Business School. One had to actually work for 3 semesters during the 4-year study, and I did my last working semester in land development here in the US, more than 30 years ago. That was arranged by a very good family friend and a great land developer, Angelo Tsakopoulos. I have spent most of those 6 months in Florida and California. But the highlight of my trip was not the actual work, but it was the Tellis Savalas Invitational event in Las Vegas that Angelo and Sofia took me. That year they were honoring the legendary Hellenic and hotel man, the CEO of ITT Sheraton at the time, John Capioltas. It was great spending time with him, of course, right? Continuing the voyage from ignorance to knowledge, but that was not really the highlight. The highlight was when I first met the generation 2 of the Greek American community at the time, including my Kubara, Eleni Kounalakis, Peter and Irene Papas, and George Tsounis. All dear friends until today that made me fall in love with the United States and introduced me and helped me stay connected with the Hellenes on this side of the Atlantic. I'm so happy and honored that they are here tonight. Rule number 2. Those blessed with both the financial means and the ability to dream, they are obliged to create. And he meant create sustainably. Other than environmental and social, financial sustainability is a third pillar without which the other 2 would crumble. Costa Navarino was and still is a labor of love, but also was and still is a sound business investment. I would agree that it might be a bit longer than others, but that is how major value creation is made in the tourism and real estate sectors. Plan way in advance, get into details, stay the course, not cut corners, torture the architects and the designers, our Dean was saying before, but deliver the experiences in a proper and wholehearted way. Our success, know-how, and good reputation with Costa Navarino allowed us to grow and be involved with landmark projects elsewhere in Greece, including at the Elysian, Athens' biggest project currently, and the mixed-use waterfront properties at the Ellinikon, Europe's largest redevelopment project. Outside shipping, we are currently leading and investing in projects of a combined value of about $4 billion and employing about 3,000 associates, and in 3 years, this number will reach about 5,000. I would please ask you to allow me to take this opportunity and thank my partners, my brothers, Kostis and Christos, for their trust and support, and also our 4th brother, the Olayan Group. 12 years ago, a great man, Aziz Syriani, the CEO of the Olayan Group at the time, asked me to join forces and bid for the Astir Peninsula in Vouliagmeni. We lost a bit, but in the process we gained a 4th brother. We have an amazing long-term strategic partnership for Greece with the Olayan family, and I'm thrilled that a good friend, the global head of private equity for Olayan Group, David Syriani, the son of Aziz, is also here tonight. We continue looking for more projects by ourselves and with international or local partners. I have never seen so much interest for investments in real estate and tourism in the country. There are a few reasons for that, and we heard many earlier today at the conference. but I will mention three that seem the most important to me. A, we did not waste a good crisis. Reforms have been made and people understood the hard way, unfortunately, that numbers must work and that there are no magical solutions. The Vice President of the government, Mr. Hatzidakis, explained in numbers today the amazing changes in Greece, and Mr. Theocharis spoke about the big interest for new investments. Hearing them earlier today and knowing also from first hand the great job Mr. Theodorakos does at the Ministry of Development makes me feel pretty okay about all the equity we are investing in Greece. I hope I will feel the same enthusiasm next year as well if Nicholas is inviting us back here. But please, B, Greece has changed level and is now a global leader in quality tourism. 2 of the top 10 tourist destinations in the world are in Greece. Minister Kefalogiannis mentioned earlier the records in arrivals and in spending year after year. She and her team should be congratulated for those amazing results. And please allow me here to also acknowledge the role that Aegean Airlines Group has played in this success story. I am so happy and honored that my best friend, business partner, and Aegean chairman, Eftichis Vassilakis, is also here tonight. Third reason, I think there are still great opportunities in the country. If one compares with other successful international destinations, assets are still very reasonably priced. We have a knowledgeable, effective, and stable government led by a hard-working and experienced leader, no huge populism from the main opposition parties, and a very strong, investment-friendly, and very liquid banking system. Adding to the above the great human talent we have in Greece and the talent that Minister Kerameos is bringing back, I'd say we have a killing combo. Rule number 3. My father said, "My curse be upon you if you don't stand up when greeting an associate of yours." One does not forget the curse of one's parent. I always stand up. I think his favorite all-time compliment was from a shipping specialized magazine that wrote, "There are 2 kinds of seamen, those who work for Captain Vasilis and those who would like to work for Captain Vasilis." I'm a strong believer in the saying, hire for attitude, train for skills. And from all our achievements, I am most proud of the quality and commitment of our associates. They know they are part of the family, and we are there to support them at any time of need. But at the same time, they know that in the service industry, there are no second chances to make a good first impression. Rule number 4, she used to tell us, in a relay race, if the baton drops, it is the mistake of the one giving it, not the one taking it. He meant that, of course, both in the context of personal family values and business know-how and continuity. He taught us that hard work and strong ethics are the 2 most important components for success. He also used to tell us, give responsibilities to your children early, so when they fail, you are there and in good shape to correct and guide them. We try to implement all above with our children. We will know later if that worked. Rule number 5, last rule, he said, always have the last word at home. Yes, darling. He had a great sense of humor, but he also meant that in a serious way. When we were younger, he used to tell us that the most important aspect when deciding for a life partner is for her to have her own wings. I must confess here, he did not say they should or their wings. So, if she does not like you anymore, she can leave and not stay because of need. And the same for you. I was very lucky to be chosen by a beautiful girl from Crete with huge wings, who is my real partner in life. She gave birth and raised our two wonderful children, Giannis and Carmen, who are our pride and joy. Constanza mu, I love you very much. The +1 rule. This one is one that his father, Papou Kostis, would tell him, and he repeated to us. Papous would say to him, "My child, when you were born, everyone around you was joyful, and you were the only one crying. Live your life in a way that when your time comes, you are the one smiling and all others are crying." He lived like that. He was always giving, even when he did not have much. And not only money, he was giving time, he was giving love, he was genuinely caring. I'm grateful that he taught me this, and he was there to guide me when I was in doubt about this rule, I must say. When someone would take advantage of this kindness, and I was angry, he would tell me, "Don't fret. Thank God he did not make you a cheat or an ungrateful SOB like that person." I must say that he was smart enough to love and marry a completing person in order to keep the balance. My mother, Carmen, who was the real column of the family, for her, expectation from people was on the other end of the spectrum from my father. She was saying, everyone is bad until proven good. I hope that someone else will give me another award some other time and hence have the opportunity to talk about her rules. But I will finish with only one of hers. She would say, if you want to be seen, stand up. If you want to be heard, speak up. If you want to be remembered, shut up. Thank you.
Thank you for a wonderful speech, and thank you for being you, and thank you for being with us today. Dear friends, that will conclude our dinner. Dear Mr. Ambassador, ministers, Consulate General, friends, thank you very much to all of you for being with us today. If you allow me, I would like also to thank the captaining staff, Hellenic Bay, and my wonderful teammates for really putting together a wonderful event. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. And we look forward to the 28th. Thank you.